Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Real Estate 101 with Dom and AJ. You know what really grinds my gears? State of the market. We have high prices, high rates, low supply, and high demand. Looks like kind of a gridlock market to me, Dom. What do you think?
Well, it is very much a unique market, but the nice part is for buyers, and I think a lot of buyers, and maybe your buyers, are a little bit discouraged with today's interest rates at 7.8 to 8.25.
It's like 775, something like that, yeah.
Is you can always refi out later on, as we discussed in the previous episode.
But it does cost money to do that. Let's not forget to tell everybody that. It does
Correct.
cost some money.
Right.
You know,
But
we're not going to go over that right now.
people shouldn't be afraid to still purchase a home.
No.
Because at the end of the day, there's only so much that is being built, and there's only so much land that's still available. So don't be discouraged. The rates are high, but once you're able to purchase a property, you don't have to, you can move on and live your life and enjoy life. You don't have to worry about that.
That's what Sam said in episode 2 a while back. Marry the property, date the rate, and he means you can refi anytime. But as you know, though, if the property prices went down today, and the rates went down with it,
oh boy,
it would go into oblivion.
Your property that you buy today at, let's just say, $400,000, guarantee you, mark my words, if they go to interest rates to 5%,
$600.
your property value will range in going up in value between 20 to 30% overnight, like that.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's an incentive, even in this market, to still buy.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest problem that we had was people that were getting blindsided. You see, Jersey City pricing. I'm going to speak on this for a minute because that's my home turf, and I know you love it there so much. You're thinking of getting into business with me there. The pricing is a lot different than his area because everybody in Jersey City prices for the pie in the sky. Oh, how much is your property? $1 million. What's your property worth? Oh, I think it's about $1 million. What's yours? I think it's $1 million. No, of course it's not $1 million, but they all go for the same thing because they believe that it's a city, the location, this and that, and they overcompensate for the price. Where in the suburbs, they got smart. They were doing bait pricing. House is worth $500. They price it at $450 and sell for $575. Jersey City doesn't do that, but I was just telling him to segue into this point. Jersey City is starting to hold reduction, days on market, 60 days, removed, listings are expiring. So, so now I'm saying for you, though, you're saying, well, because you always argue, oh, well, I'm still getting 50 over. You're right. But we're not going to see that 100,000 over anymore. This is a good thing.
Well, we're starting to slow down in the suburbs with Morris County, Passaic County, Warren County, Central Jersey, Toms River, down the shore, all the areas that I sell down there. They are starting to temper out. They're starting to cool down a little bit. But inventory is still extremely low. And I mean, I really want to be honest with the people, in my opinion, on, as long as New York is crashing and burning, our market is going to stay solid and strong. I mean, I don't know about you, but 90% of my clients today are from New York.
Oh, Jersey City, of course.
And they're coming
especially
out.
the luxury sector.
And there's nothing wrong with New York City. It's just they're tired of the lifestyle there, and they're going into the suburbs.
Let's talk inventive ways to buy a home, which is the good old-fashioned 203K, or we go past that even. I know it's my favorite loan, but let's talk about other loans like the 30-year fixed and the even hard money.
You can start that.
All right. So this market requires ingenuity. All right. If you're a flipper, you usually go for, of course, cash is king. We're not going to talk about cash because that defeats the purpose. Of course, you buy it cash. That's the holy grail. But everyone knows the acronym PITI, right? PITI. You got principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. And of course, in our town, in wonderful Jersey City and Union City, you got to pay water, sewer on top of it because why not? We got money. We got a mere bag of shells to burn. We'll just add more fuel to the fire because we just enjoy throwing money out the window. But anyway, same thing in Union City. With respect to that, though, the most powerful way to house hack at this point would be to wait just a tad. I know what we talked about in the other episodes, don't wait. But when it comes to the people that are looking for multis, you absolutely should wait until you get the great deal because house hacking is different. These people that are buying with the FHA and the conventional investor loans, the rates are so high that the rentals do not supersede the rates, and it's a negative sale. However, I will say if you're at least at -2%, I'd still go for it, because the improvements that you'll put into it will eventually appreciate. But if you're below -2%, I know people are not going to agree with me on this. I would still go for it. Everyone's like, oh, I wouldn't even do it for 1. I would still say go for it. What do you think about that? In this tough market, I never give this advice unless we had this.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I could see what, how people are going to be all over us when
Of course.
because of, the way the interest rates are. But I agree with you. Can you go into a little bit further again? I know we talked about this in this last episode.
Oh, the cap. Oh, like with cap?
Season 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, only because I think in our season 1, when we went through it for the first time, people reacted and wanted to know a little bit more in depth on that.
Sure.
So if you can explain that to them.
Right. So capitalization rate is what we know is the cap, which is your net income divided after all expenses have been paid. After all of your expenses have been paid, that is your net income. So gross income minus all of your expenses equals net income, and you divide that by your total investment, and that'll give you your cap rate for year over year. And you have to make sure that all measurements that you're doing are in a year's time. So very simply put, if you purchase a home at $500,000 and let's say the rents are $2,000 a floor and a 2-family, that would be $48,000 a year. And then your taxes are 13 grand, which is roughly $1050 a month. And water sewer would be around 15, and insurance would be around 2,300. You'd have a pretty nice cap, right? When you worked it all out, depending, right, on the note. So if you're putting down, here we go again, 15% or 20, yeah, you're going to have a lot more wiggle room for that rent to work for you. So you're not living in the home, it's a pure investment, and you have to get what's called an investor conventional loan, meaning you're not living there, or you could do it with hard money. So the point that I'm trying to make is the more you put down, yeah, you can get an investor loan. I think the minimum was 20%, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you put down 20, and unfortunately, even that, with the rates, the rentals are not working for you. So you have to do the cap rate before you get in there, and not use these amorphous rates that are, oh, I think I can get 2,500 or 20. You need to be I always go 5% under market value as a guesstimate, so that when I do the actual value, I know that it's right on the money, because then I know when I do the calculation and I actually rent it out, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, not some cockamamie number just to do a deal and say I own a house. I will never buy a home just to say I own one. It has to make sense mathematically in the cap rate before execution.
Right.
All right.
Can we change the subject a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hey, you brought it up.
No, I know.
So
I just want to go. I want to. My craft?
This is you, buddy.
Oh, that's good. With today's markets, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, our industry is taking a little bit of a hit.
No.
So,
Really?
what is your opinion
Never thought.
in the everyday realtors? What are you hearing out there with all the other your realtor associates? Are they still working? Are they going? They're no longer working. Where are they at?
To put this,
So
I
I'll
feel for a lot of realtors, we're taking a hit, and a lot of the realtors are packing their bags and going back to other jobs. I'm not gonna lie.
straight up.
And I look at KW, Remax, Century 21. A lot of the realtors are losing half their workforce because they said there isn't enough business. Now, can that be true? Sure, but to weather the storm, you got to really trudge through the mud. You better have knee-high boots on for this market, because next year is going to stink. And I'm going to be straight up with you. There are days that I go, wow. Remember I said to you I was on a roll, and in Q4 got my pants blown off. There are days I say, well, I lost the deal, and I'm probably not going to get paid for 3-4 months. And then, I mean, when I do, it'll be great, but it's always lining up the next one, and we're going to lose a lot of people.
I just think it's a good cleanse. I have a different view. And I think there are a lot of realtors that are not performing their due diligence in their search.
Oh, that's the other. I agree with that.
Only because they're not looking out for the interests of their client, right?
Oh.
And I've seen it.
Well, then they deserve to go.
So obviously it's reflecting on how they are for them not to perform, because at the end of the day, people are going to either like you or hate you in this business. If you perform very well, It will spread like wildfire. If you do not do your job and you're not being transparent with your client, it will spread like wildfire as well. So the decision,
Right. I was talking about hard work as you're talking about clowns, and you make a good
well, I
point.
change it.
No, that's good. I agree. When you're talking about clowns, yeah, they deserve to hit the bricks. And
Right.
I can't stand the rah-rahs, that they're on a team of like 6 people on a listing and all that. That doesn't mean, to me, that's all gots. If it's either you're a one-man team and you get the job done, or you might as well not be in the business. I don't play that game. I never did. And I told you, I got the BS meter. When I see, like when I go to the events and I see these realtors that, or even,
I don't even go.
well, I do them because they're great networking, but I see sometimes they're like, oh, this is how you invest. I'm a realtor and a wholesaler, da da da. And they're telling me how they invested with, 5, 6 people. And I just go like this.
Well,
I give them one of these. I said, I didn't deal with
like
that.
I said, it's a good
No.
cleanse. It's good
Yeah.
clean because then you know what, the people who
No.
are well-rounded as a realtor, like ourselves, not tooting our own horns, but let me tell you, we came through thick and thin within the last 6 years,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
growing and building a brand, and we're going to survive it,
yeah.
So,
But going forward in that,
Sorry.
I've gotten mangled. There were times, like I said, in the market in 2020, you did very good. I did not. In 2020, I got destroyed because you have to remember, I'm in foreclosure world, okay? And the foreclosures back then, they were like, everybody's like, what foreclosures? They don't exist, because money was cheap. Now
Right.
they're like, oh, foreclosures exist. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was an opposite market. So it's amazing how there's a paradigm shift when it comes to how the market works. And you know what I want to bring up to all of my new clients that I am about to work with for 24, and I know you're watching this. We are going to look at the ugly houses. Did you know that? What do you mean by that? It's like, what do I mean? Every time I see, oh, I don't want to see that house, it's crap. When there is a market that has this much of a gridlock and the selection stinks, this is where the ugly houses are going to thrive. Then you bust out the 203K, because this is where you get the new used car. Because guess what? I've seen people buy homes that they didn't love, that they fell in love with, because why? They made it their own with the fix and repair loan. Or guess what? You settle for now. You get a starter home that I guarantee you I will make sure you build equity with. Say yes to that, because I know I wouldn't give it to you otherwise, unless I will never make you make an offer I wouldn't make myself, and neither will
Yes.
Dom. Said that same thing every single day. But that ugly house can be profitable in so many ways if you get it on the cheap, because listen, there's always a diamond in the rough. I found more black diamonds than you'll ever imagine. And even in the crappiest market, because you look every single day in the speed, you're on the listing.
Well, you're on it. We're on it every day. We're doing inventory.
You
We're
get it
checking
done.
inventory every day.
Yep.
So we get to see, since we're in the business every single day, 24/7, nonstop go, we see properties that are gems that a lot of other realtors will not see. And even with my clients for 2024, they're going to be watching this. They're ready to buy. They're prepared, ready to go. A lot of investors we're ready to start buying. They're waiting.
What problems do you see coming into 2024 that will be resolved? Okay, going into 25, what is this year going? Obviously, it's not all gloom and doom. We're not trying to be Nostradamus here of the judgment day. Okay, what do you think is going to happen in 2024 that will allow it to be better in 2025?
The rates will eventually start to go down. Okay, probably the end of 2024, as we discussed in the last episode, which will prepare for 2025. With the lower interest rates, which will give an incentive for people to start selling and start buying, like they did heavily in 2020 to 2022, 2020, half of 2023.
The prices are going to come down before the rates, not by much, but they
Well,
will.
it's
They've
all-
already started.
It's start well again. It depends on a couple different variables, and you and I know that. Depends on the Fed. It depends
On
on
the election,
it depends
big
on
one.
the election.
not to go in politics, but it is. Next
That's
year's
the
a big one
truth.
because
So
my big boy investors, you know, the whales, then they're saying, you know what, we're gonna wait
Yep.
until the election hits. Well, I don't blame them because you know the money is going to be either tied up or it's going to be worth the investment based on who wins the election, and because there's different policy factors involved.
right.
But you know, not to go into all that. We're
Yeah.
not here to be
No, no,
CNN.
no.
But the point is that it does affect the
Yeah.
market. Do you think in 2024 we are going to the game of telephone will start to reach all of these sellers and say, you know, I don't want to spend this much at 500,000 for when I know the house is worth like 460 and these high rates. Do you think it'll finally say, hey Sally, I can't get enough from I can't sell my house, I got to lower the price. Hey John, hey Michael, hey Mary.
I don't
Do you think it's
no,
do you think it's going to start lowering just a little bit?
not the way you're describing it. No,
No, that's the way it has to work. That's a free market.
Not to the point where it's going to affect a seller to retract their property from the market. No, not to that such extreme.
No, not retract it. To say I need to lower the price to be realistic. That's what I meant. After reduction after reduction.
I don't think we're going to get to that.
In 2025, we will.
I don't foresee that. Like I said, it will. There's two different ways of going about the future market, and like we said, if it goes one way, this is going to be what it is. If it goes the other way, well, it's going to be this way. So for us to really answer that, you know, it's kind of productive right this very second because we don't really have an answer.
Well, if you open
Interest
that
rates are
door, it's
still-
happening.
What's that?
If you open that door, it's happening right now in Jersey
Well-
City. I'm asking for your area because they're talking. They're going, hey,
Well, we're
I
not
can't
seeing
get
that.
my price.
We're not seeing that.
I
on
got to
my orders.
lower it. Reduction. They're all over the place
Not
here.
seeing it. Not yet.
Okay.
Not in our markets.
Different market, but
Like our average
right.
market is normally now, your property would normally sell back even last year. It's on the market for one day,
yeah,
gone.
sure.
Now you are looking to have it on the market between 30 to 45 days. Okay.
That's normal.
Depending on how you price it. Now, obviously, a lot of you sellers that are out there think your property is worth gold. There is nothing wrong with that, but we need to come to reality. And obviously, when we present data, or me and AJ, we present data, here's what your home is worth, you know, we can't just wave a wand and say, hey, we need 700,000 when your property is only worth 500, right? I'd love to.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You make more money, we make more money.
I've actually met
But-
these realtors too that undershoot the property so they can make a quick commission and roll. Don't mistake it for that. We're realists. There's a difference. You know,
Right.
there's a couple of people, you know, the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. I'm just saying it's a glass with water. That's the difference. You know, you just got to say it exactly how it is. And unfortunately, emotional value does not sell a property.
No.
Actual value does. And a lot of the times we're using these extraneous factors. Oh, I bought, you know, my dad built this house, or I put an in-ground pool, and this room has a shade of pink that can only be found from Himalayan crushed sand, and all this other crazy stories I have, and I made this myself. It doesn't add to the value. It doesn't matter. So all these factors that are adding to our market in 2024 are going to be way different in where I'm at and where you're at, but I am seeing major reductions. I'm talking 100 grand.
No, we're not seeing that price.
Well, because we have, yeah, but we're also in a different bracket. So
Right.
but okay, my 100 grand is your 30 grand in the $1 million. Like if I have a 1.5 and we go down 100, that's like you at 600 going to like, you know, 545, 550. You'll see that those major retractions, but I'm seeing it. Maybe you're not yet, but you're going to get it.
Well, like I said, as long as inventory is still continuing to stay low,
Right.
I don't foresee the market to change much. If interest rates hit 11, 12% on residential loans,
I don't see that happening.
then I have to revisit what I just said.
Well, we're in deep.
earlier.
If that happens, we're in deep crap. If it goes to 11 or 12 and the prices stay
And
the
I'm not
same,
ruling it out.
no, it could happen, but it wouldn't last very long. As you know, we talked about in the mortgage episode, but we'd be in really deep crap. And you know, then residential would go to hell in a handbasket, unfortunately. But that's, you know, neither here nor there. I don't see that happening for very long if it does.
No. Can I just also say real quick, you know, we finished up season 2 pretty much now.
Oh yeah, we did.
And season 1 was an awesome, we got awesome feedback.
It was a great
I
run.
mean,
I had a good time in season 1. Even more fun in season 2.
I just want to say to all our viewers, thank you. You know, like, share, subscribe. We're here to educate you. We're here to get you on the right path. Give us feedback. Tell us what topics you want us to talk about for the next season, because we're going to be doing other seasons. So,
and you know I'm ready for you on Instagram. You ask me a question, you got a live video the next day. Okay, I got no problem going right on the SIP Avenue answering your questions. I'm still the guy with the microphone out on SIP Avenue. I'll gladly help you out with all your questions. But more importantly, let's get everyone to give us all of your concerns so that we can build them into our future seasons, and we'll interact with you on Instagram, liking, subscribing, whatever you do, so that you're more informed and become a more informed buyer. Because yes, we are here to educate you, and more importantly, we're here to be a point of reference to you, and not to be scared of realtors, because everyone, they're scared of us and they think we're snake oil salesmen. And same thing with car sales. There are good people out there, and I don't have to show you that I have a heart. You just need to trust that I do from the actions that we portray, and working with me, even if it's just for a call. It takes 2 seconds to give us a call, and I assure you, you'll be much better, more informed than when you started.
And give us a call. We'll hear you out, and we'll take you step by step on this wonderful journey of either selling or buying your future home.
Well, that wraps up not only this episode, but season 2. We can't thank you enough, and Dante Alighieri Society for hosting this wonderful season.
Thank you very much.
Emblem and monument since 1909.
Fantastic.
Yeah, another part of Jersey City history out here. And hopefully maybe we'll be shooting by you next time.
Yep.
And we thank you for our wonderful clients for tuning in, and we appreciate your business. We can't wait to do more business with you. And once again, thank you for tuning into Real Estate 101 with Dom and AJ. I'm AJ from AJC Realty Exchange.
And I'm Dominic Pascucci from Signature Homes and Estates.
And
thank you.
Until next time, keep thinking real estate.